Hello everyone, my name is Chris and this is my channel, The Apprentice Builder Chris. I'm trying to figure out how to make perfect models. Just follow along with my adventures. Hello everyone, in this video I will be doing a refurbishment of the Tamiya 24010 Moby Dick from Porsche. As you can see, this is a kit that is over 30 years old, and I didn't know then what I know now, so I didn't use a clear coat on the decals, and that's the result, deterioration of the decals. So I'm gonna address this. I ordered decals from Indicals and they are good but very difficult to use, and very difficult even with decal softener. The result is not so very good. So I start by putting the car into detail for the paint and the decals to be removed, and this is very efficient. So please don't be stupid and protect yourself, because we are starting with priming of the car. So I use Tamiya surface primer and I use lacquer thinner, and the ratio is 1:1, equal parts of thinner and equal parts of lacquer thinner. Then you have to wait 5 minutes to let the paint flash off. So in the meanwhile I do the other parts in 5 minutes. It doesn't take 5 minutes to do the wing and the panels on the side of the car. The outside is white and the inside is matte black. Then the second coat goes on. Here you see me first blowing out my airbrush so there's no dust particles. Second layer is on. Then you have to let it dry for 24 hours. That's the waiting game, because the paint has to be cured. And I do this usually in a box with a lid, so there's no dust particles getting on it. Then I do a light sanding with a 1500 grit. Then again, protect yourself, because we are painting again. Use a mask, gloves, because paint is not good for the lungs. Then I started with the first layer and I used white martini from Fire Scale. First the light layer. It's very difficult to see on the white primer. And after the first layer, again, you must let it dry for 5 minutes so it flashes off, and then you can build on the second coat. You go somewhat closer with your airbrush gun, and you can lay a thicker layer on. It's an easy paint to use. This ready for use, and I must say it's a good quality, the paint from Fire Scale. It's the first time I used it on the 24001 Porsche, and I was very surprised at the result. Then you have to let it cure for a day before you can do anything to the car. So in the meanwhile I did some parts, and then it's ready for decals. That's the decals from Indicals. It's a good result, but it's not the best result, but it's the only thing that's available on decals. I find it so sorry that Tamiya doesn't reproduce his decals. So this is the interior and that's the exterior. As you can see, they are very thick, the decals. Then I used the antenna was lost, so I remade an antenna. I melted the sprue and then used some wire that I straightened it by rolling it on the bench. So now please protect yourself very good, because we are spraying 2K clear coat. I use street blisters, and I must say the result is very good. First the light dusting, not too thick because you don't want to have runners in the clear coat. So I hold my gun on a fair distance. Again, waiting 5 minutes to flash off. Then the second layer you can go a little bit closer and a little bit thicker. Start at the bottom and work yourself up to the greater surfaces of the car, like the roof and the bonnet or hood. Oh, and then yes, I had a hair in the lacquer, so I removed it immediately before it was drying. Then 5 minutes to flush off again, and then the third coat is going on, even closer, even somewhat more thicker. And then yes, then when you're ready, the waiting game. You must wait in 3 to 5 days to get it cured. And then I did the masking for the window trim. Tedious but necessary if you want to have a good result. I use a brush because I don't like to tape off everything just to spray the window seals. I found it that I find it too much work, so I just do a little frame off with masking tape, and then I use my brush to paint it on. Here I'm using a wooden toothpick to deepen out the lines, and then I use my cutter to cut the surroundings of the frame. Use a fresh knife. Then I use a nail file to roughen up the edges, because there's lacquer on it, so the paint is water-based. So, and here you see me showing off the ball bearings that I put in every flask. Then I filled a little bit of airbrush cleaner in a pot, in a jar for my brush. So here you see me using the brush, and this is eyeliner brush that I bought on the Amazon, and you can buy them for I think 50 pieces for a fair price, and they have a very fine point, so easy. See, that's why you boss cough. see, I went outside of the lines. And you can buy these brushes, and they are very cheap. And when they're no longer good, you can throw them away. But they are quite good from quality. Then again, the nail file for the front, because yes, there's also clear coat, and again, the paint is water-based, so it repels the paint otherwise. So when the paint is dry, you can remove the masking tape, and then I use a wooden toothpick for removing the paint that went under my masking tape. That is, when you use cheap masking tape, you can get this. But because the body of the car is cleared, you can do this with a toothpick. It doesn't leave marks on the body. So this is the result. Not perfect, but better than it was. So the result is quite good. Some detailing with silver for the lock, and then the car is finished. Then we start with wet sanding. First with 6000 grit. I used distilled water that I get from my dryer. Then with 8000 grit. Then 10,000 grit. Then I'm using Tamiya's finishing polish. First with coarse. I start with the roof, and I will go always in one direction. Every time you polish, you go in one direction. Don't make circles, because circles make scratches into the lacquer. I even polish the glass of the lights, and then I use a microfiber cloth to rub it in very good, and you're beginning to see a little bit of glare on the body. Then fine compound for the next step. Again, go in the same direction. The side of the car don't polish that much because you don't see the results, especially with all the decals on it. So when it is displayed in your display cabinet, you don't see the sides. So then again, microcloth, and then finishing compound. Same technique as before. Rub it in till it gets dry. You see the reflection of the light is beginning to come. The bonnet or hood. And then I use an extra fine microfiber cloth for the finishing polish, and it's quite good, the result. The light bounces off very good. Then I use panel liner to accentuate the body lines, to give it a more realistic look. Also something I didn't used to do 30 years ago, was not acquainted with it, so the air intakes, a little bit more accents on the door seals. That's why you do scribing of the body lines, so you can do this kind of stuff, make it more realistic. And I must say, the panel liner of Tamiya is very thin and it runs very, very smoothly. Sometimes you have to cut the decals to get a better result. It gives it a more used look also. And I'm cutting the other decal. You see the running of the paint quite clearly here. And then with a cotton bud. You see the decals from Indicals are, yeah, they're good, but they're very hard. And I used softener, but even then, no. And I didn't want to use a hairdryer because I was afraid they would curl up. Here I used the knife because I forgot to scribe the hood of the bonnet or the hood of the car. So I used my cutter to accentuate the body lines. Again with the cotton bud to remove the excess. That's the result. It's quite realistic. Then something I don't like to do, and that is putting in clear parts. I always have issues every time I do this. I always have issues. I use clear glue, but still I'm always managing to mess up. I even use a toothpick, so I don't use too much glue, but still I don't know what I'm doing. Some detailing of the inner parts, the mirror. Side mirrors had already paint on it, so I just then a marker pen to do the rim of the rear view mirror. Then my antenna that I made, I used chrome silver. Then the final assembly of the diffusers that I will mess up later in the video. You see, I show you my flaws because sometimes it's not easy to fix parts on model cars. Other model builders don't show this, but I show you the frustrations. Then the other parts, the air vents for the engine, that's not there. I use fine cement from Tamiya. Then another fiddly thing, the rear view mirror. So you see, even with tweezers it's not that obvious. I had to re-drill the hole, but eventually I got it. And now the final assembly. Yay! You see, it broke. So I had to refix it. And I did not let it dry enough, so and perhaps it's another 30 years till the car is getting disassembled. So this is the result. Fixing of the windshield wiper, first dry fitting, fine cement, then some fiddling, get it fixed in place. The rear view mirrors from the outside, again some fine cement. Then my pride and joy, my antenna that I built. You see on the right side, I broke a piece. It fell to the ground and it split because the plastic is so old, it's becoming very brittle. So instead of placing one piece, I had to place two pieces. Then it fell in. So now, as you can see, not so obvious when it's broken. That's model building for you. challenges to fix it. And this is the end result. Quite proud of my end results. Better than 30 years ago. It was a sunny day, so I took some pictures outside of the car. And then I placed it in my cabinet with the rest of my collection. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, the next one is the Ford Capri that I'm going to be refurbishing, and this project is coming soon on my YouTube channel. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next endeavor. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell.